The Smith family is finally hitting the road for their big car trip to the Adirondacks. You've got Mom Emily, Dad James, their teenage daughter Olivia, and their little whirlwind of a son, Ethan. He's like an Energizer bunny that never quits. They've been hyping this vacation for months. Mountains, fresh air, and maybe some fishing if James can convince everyone. The minivan's stuffed to the gills with duffel bags, a cooler packed with snacks, and Ethan's dinosaur blanket. He swears he'll die without it. Emily's fussing over the granola bars and juice boxes while James jams the last suitcase into the trunk like he's playing Tetris for the world title. They all pile in, and the energy's buzzing. The kids kick things off with a loud, off-key rendition of Sweet Caroline. Olivia's belting it out like she's on stage, while Ethan's just screaming bum 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 with all he's got. James glances at Emily in the passenger seat and grins. "Hey, remember that Virginia Beach trip?" he says. "When you thought you could navigate without a map?" Emily rolls her eyes but cracks up. "Oh yeah, and we ended up at that creepy gas station with the one-eyed cat." The whole car loses it, laughing so hard the windows fog up. For a while, it's just them, the open road, and a killer playlist of old-school jams. A couple hours later, they pull into this little rest stop next to a thick forest. You know the vibe. Huge pine trees swallowing the sunlight, air smelling like dirt and wildness. James stretches his legs, Ethan's darting after a butterfly, and Olivia's snapping tree pics for her Insta. Emily pulls out some sandwiches, and they chow down at a picnic table, totally zoned out from what's about to happen. Here's the thing. While they're busy eating and joking, something sneaky goes down. A little shadow, quiet as a ghost, slips into the open trunk. It's fast, it's slick, and not a single Smith notices. They finish up, toss the wrappers, and hop back in. James slams the trunk, fires up the engine, and they're off again, completely in the dark. The highway rolls out ahead, and the Adirondacks are pulling them closer. Olivia's got her earbuds in now, scrolling her phone, while Ethan's doodling dinosaurs on a napkin with a crayon he dug out from under the seat. Emily's flipping through a guidebook, tossing out random facts. "Did you know there's a heart-shaped lake up there?" she says. James smirks. "Better not be as freezing as that lake last summer." The kids groan. Ethan's still convinced he turned into a human popsicle that day. It's all giggles and chatter, the kind of road trip gold you dream about. But back in the trunk, something's awake. Something with feathers and a talent for keeping hush. For now, the Smiths are clueless, cruising along with the windows down and the breeze in their hair. They've got no clue who's hitching a ride, or how this trip's about to get seriously crazy. Weird noises start creeping in. The Smith family's been on the road for a few hours now, and the Adirondacks are getting closer. The minivan's humming along, the playlist still bumping, and the vibe's pretty chill. Olivia's sprawled out in the back seat, half listening to her music, half staring out the window at the endless trees whipping by. Ethan's kicking his legs, chattering about how he's going to catch a fish bigger than James's head. Emily's sipping a coffee she grabbed at the last gas station, and James is drumming his fingers on the steering wheel, keeping time with the radio. Everything's smooth, until it's not. Out of nowhere, Olivia pulls one earbud out and sits up a little. Guys, do you hear that?" she says, frowning. There's this soft rustling sound coming from the back, like someone's crumpling a paper bag real slow. Then, faint but clear, a little hoo-hoo floats through the air. She blinks. "What is that?" James catches her eye in the rearview mirror and laughs. "What? You hearing ghosts now, Liv? It's probably just the wind, or these junky tires." He pats the dashboard like the van's his old buddy. Emily twists around, squinting toward the trunk, then checks the side mirrors. "I don't see anything," she says, shrugging. "Maybe it's the cooler sliding around." Ethan's ears perk up, though, and he's all in. "No way. It's the trunk monster," he yells, bouncing in his seat. "I bet it's got claws and fangs and hoo-hoo. Big googly eyes." He makes a goofy face, and Olivia snorts. "Yeah, right. You're so weird." But the noises don't stop. The rustling gets a little louder, and that hoo-hoo pops up again, like it's answering Ethan's monster theory. James shakes his head. "You kids and your imaginations. It's nothing. Probably a rapper stuck back there." Emily nods, but she's still glancing over her shoulder every few minutes, not totally sold. The thing is, the sounds keep coming. Not crazy loud, but steady, like whatever's back there is settling in for the ride. Olivia is starting to look annoyed. Okay, seriously, it's freaking me out now, she says, pulling her knees up. Ethan's loving it, though. Trunk monster's gonna eat our snacks, he cackles, waving his arms like he's casting a spell. James just chuckles. You're all nuts. We've been driving too long. That's the real problem. Let's find a motel and crash for the night. Emily pulls out her phone, scrolling for a spot. Yeah, I'm beat, she says. And I'm not sleeping in this car if there's a trunk monster on the loose. The kids crack up, and James takes the next exit toward a little roadside motel with a flickering neon sign. They pull into the parking lot as the sun's dipping low, painting the sky orange. The noises have quieted down a bit, and the family's chalking it up to travel jitters. See? Told you it was nothing, James says, stretching as he climbs out. Olivia rolls her eyes. Whatever, Dad. I still heard it. Ethan's already unbuckled, hopping around. Maybe it's shy now. Emily grabs her bag and yawns. Well, shy or not, I need a bed. Let's get inside. They're all laughing and dragging their stuff toward the motel, totally missing the fact that something's still awake in the trunk. Something with big eyes and a soft, who? Just waiting for its moment. The Smiths are in for a surprise, and it's closer than they think. The Smiths finally roll up to this little motel off the highway, the kind with a buzzing vacancy sign and a vending machine that's probably older than James. It's been a long day of driving, and everyone's ready to crash. The sky's all purple and gold now, and the air's got that cool, crisp bite you only feel in the mountains. James parks the minivan, kills the engine, and hops out with a groan. All right, team, let's grab our stuff and call it a night, he says, popping the trunk like it's no big deal. Big mistake. The second that trunk swings open, chaos erupts. Out of the darkness, bam, this owl launches itself right at them. Feathers everywhere, wings flapping like crazy, and those huge, glowing eyes staring them down. Emily lets out a scream that could wake the dead, stumbling back into Olivia, who's already cracking up. Oh my God, what is that? Emily yells, clutching her chest. Ethan's clapping like it's a circus act, bouncing on his toes. It's the trunk monster. I told you. James just freezes, mouth open, like he's trying to figure out if he's dreaming. The owl doesn't stick the landing. It kinda tumbles onto the spare tire, looking a little roughed up, but chill as heck. It shakes out its feathers, fluffs itself up, and just sits there, blinking at them with these giant, round eyes. For a second, nobody moves. Then Olivia loses it, laughing so hard she's got a hold onto the car. Are you kidding me? We've been driving around with an owl this whole time. Ethan's in heaven, reaching out like he's gonna pet it. Hi, Birdie. You're so cool. Emily's still catching her breath, fanning herself. James, how did we not notice this? James scratches his head, staring at the owl like it's an alien. I got nothing. Must have hopped in at that rest stop by the forest. He leans closer, and the owl tilts its head, giving him this calm, judgy look. Olivia wipes her eyes, still giggling. Okay, but it's kinda cute, right? Look at it, just chilling there. Ethan nods like a bobblehead. Yeah, it's our new pet. James snorts. Oh, no way, buddy. This thing's not moving in with us. But you can tell he's half amused, half freaked out. Emily steps forward, peering at the bird. Poor guy's probably scared out of his mind, stuck in there all day. The owl doesn't look scared, though. It's sitting pretty, perched on the tire like it owns the place. Olivia pulls out her phone, snapping a pic. This is going on my story. No one's gonna believe we picked up a hitchhiker owl. Ethan's already naming it in his head. You can see it. He's got that sneaky grin. James shakes his head, grabbing his suitcase. All right, owl whisperers. Let's get inside before it decides to fly into the room with us. They're all buzzing now, the tiredness from the road totally gone. The owl just watches them shuffle toward the motel, cool as a cucumber. The family's starting to piece it together. That rustling, the who Olivia heard? Yeah, this little guy's been their secret passenger since that forest stop. It's wild, it's hilarious, and it's got them all talking over each other as they haul their bags inside. One thing's for sure. This trip just went from normal to legendary, and they've got a feathered friend to thank. The Smiths have no clue what's next, but this owl's about to steal the show. The Smiths are still reeling from their trunk owl surprise as they settle into the motel room. It's one of those classic roadside joints, faded floral wallpaper, a TV that's stuck on the Weather Channel, and a lumpy couch Ethan's already claimed as his throne. The owl's still out in the minivan, perched on the spare tire like it's his VIP seat, and the family's buzzing about what to do. Olivia's sitting cross-legged on the bed, scrolling through her phone. Guys, we can't just leave him out there, she says, looking up. He's, like, our road trip buddy now. I'm calling him Mr. Who, cause of the hoo-hoo, you know? James flops into a chair, rubbing his face. Liv, we're not adopting an owl. That's not how this works. He's trying to sound stern, but there's a smirk creeping in. He's kinda charmed by the whole thing. Ethan's bouncing on the couch, eyes huge. Please, Dad. Mr. Who's the best. I'll feed him my goldfish crackers. Emily laughs, setting her bag down. Oh, honey, I don't think owls eat goldfish. But he does look hungry. She glances at James, raising an eyebrow. Maybe we could get him something? Just for tonight. James groans, but he's already caving, you can tell. Fine, but we're not keeping him. We'll let him go in the mountains tomorrow, somewhere safe. Olivia pumps her fist. Yes, Mr. Who lives another day. Ethan cheers, and Emily grabs her purse. There's a little store next door. Let's see if they've got anything owl-friendly. 5 minutes later, they're trooping across the parking lot to this dinky convenience store. Think stale coffee and shelves of random junk. They snag a pack of deli turkey, figuring it's the closest thing to owl food they'll find. Back at the van, they crack the trunk again, and Mr. Who's still there, looking regal despite his ruffled feathers. Emily tears off a piece of turkey and tosses it his way. The owl snatches it midair like a pro, gulping it down with a quick head bob. Ethan's losing his mind. Whoa, did you see that? He's awesome. Olivia's filming it on her phone, narrating like it's a nature doc. And here we have Mr. Who, the coolest owl ever, enjoying a gourmet meal. James chuckles, leaning against the van. All right, he's got some moves. I'll give him that. Then Ethan, brave little dude, reaches out real slow, and Mr. Who just tilts his head, letting him stroke a feather. Mom, Dad, he likes me. Ethan whispers, like it's the biggest secret ever. Emily's melting. Okay, that's adorable. Even James softens up, crossing his arms. Yeah, he's not bad, for a stowaway. Olivia grins. Told you we should keep him. James shoots her a look. Temporary, Liv. Temporary. But the way he's watching Mr. Who munch that turkey, you can tell he's starting to like the little guy. They spend the next half hour hanging out by the van, feeding Mr. Who and cracking jokes. He's surprisingly chill, doesn't fly off, doesn't freak out, just sits there like he's part of the crew. Emily's snapping pics now too, and Ethan's begging to sleep in the car with him. No chance, bud, James says, ruffling his hair. But he can hang out till morning. As they finally head back inside, the family's got this warm, goofy glow. Mr. Who's not just some random bird anymore. He's their weird, feathered sidekick, and they're all secretly loving it. Tomorrow's the big goodbye, but tonight, Mr. Who's one of the Smiths. The Smiths wake up early the next morning, the motel room still humming with that weird, happy energy from their owl adventure. The Adirondacks are calling, and they've got a plan. Find a perfect spot to set Mr. Who free. James is chugging coffee from a styrofoam cup, muttering about how he didn't sign up for owl babysitting on this trip. Emily's packing up, smiling to herself. She's secretly loved every second of this. Olivia's already out by the van, checking on their feathered buddy, and Ethan's dragging his dinosaur blanket, begging to bring Mr. Who home. Just imagine him in my room, Mom, he says. He'd be my best friend. Emily laughs. Nice try, buddy, but he's a wild bird. He belongs out there. They hit the road, windows down, the mountain air rushing in crisp and clean. Mr. Who's still chilling in the trunk. James left it cracked so he'd get some breeze, and the owl's just sitting there like a king on his spare tire throne. Olivia's playing DJ, blasting some chill tunes, but she keeps peeking back. He's gonna miss us, you know, she says, half joking. James smirks. Yeah, right. He's probably counting the minutes till he's free of Ethan's singing. Ethan sticks out his tongue. He likes my singing, Dad. The whole car cracks up, and for a while, it's just easy vibes and winding roads. After an hour, they find this quiet little spot off the highway. A clearing surrounded by tall pines, with a stream gurgling nearby. It's perfect. James pulls over, and they all pile out, stretching and soaking in the view. All right, Mr. Who, Emily says, popping the trunk. Time to go be a big, bad owl again. The bird blinks at them, feathers glinting in the sunlight, looking way too cool to be their random hitchhiker. Olivia kneels down, her voice soft. Bye, buddy. Thanks for making this trip epic. She's trying to play it tough, but her eyes are a little shiny. Ethan's not even hiding it. He's waving like a maniac. Bye, Mr. Who. Come visit me, okay? James grabs a stick and gently nudges the owl toward the edge of the trunk. Mr. Who hops out, flaps his wings a couple times, and then, whoosh, he's airborne. He swoops up to a low branch, turns his head all the way around, and stares at them with those big, golden eyes. It's like he's saying, "Thanks for the ride, weirdos." The family just stands there, watching, totally quiet for once. Then Ethan whispers, "He's the coolest," and Emily squeezes his shoulder. Yeah, he really is. Mr. Who gives one last hoo-hoo, soft and echoey, before gliding deeper into the trees. The Smiths linger a minute, grinning at each other. James breaks the silence, clapping his hands. Well, folks, that's got to be the best trip we've ever had. Thanks to our fifth passenger. Olivia laughs. No contest, Dad. Ethan's already tugging at Emily's sleeve. Can we get an owl next time? She ruffles his hair. Let's stick to fish for now, huh? They pile back into the van, the mountains stretching out ahead as they start the drive home. The playlist kicks on, and the kids are plotting their next adventure. Olivia's pitching a camping trip. Ethan's dead set on finding Mr. Who again. James catches Emily's eye and grins. Guess we're the kind of family that picks up strays now. She smirks back. Only the cool ones. And as the minivan cruises down the road, you can bet they're all secretly hoping their owl pals out there somewhere, ruling the forest, and maybe keeping an eye on them. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the video. Follow me if you want to see more cool stories.